Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Today we'll continue with exercises series. ما نكمل في سلسلة التمارين اللي كنت بديتها من قبل فترة الامتحانات، وكنتمنى انكم تكونوا ارتحتوا مزيان واستعدتوا for the second term السمستر الثانية ان شاء الله. And I truly wish that you have seen the success you wished for. وداكشي اللي تعبتوا عليه نتمنى انكم تكونوا فاليديتوا. اللي ما فاليداش لا قدر الله. Catch-up sessions are another chance, as I told you before. Please just don't give up. Do your best, and the rest is up to God. That's what I believe, and stay positive. نبدأ على بركة الله. Simple past and present perfect. Use the simple past or the present perfect to fill in the blanks. What you learn since you come here, how many friends you make. I hope you already meet a lot of interesting people. Last night, my roommate and I have some free time, so we go to a show. I just have lunch, but I not have lunch yesterday. Who write the play Hamlet? How many games the team win so far this season? I don't know Sarah's husband. I never meet him. It rained a lot last week, but it not rained much so far this week. How many letters you write since the beginning of the month? When we were on vacation, the weather be terrible. In her whole lifetime, Jamila never see snow. I don't know where Iman is. You see her? When I get home last night, I be very tired and I go straight to bed. Your car looks very clean. You wash it? Muhammad not be very well last week. Mr. Rami worked in a bank for 15 years. Then he gave it up. The young man never been to Paris, but he read a book about the city last year. You decide where to go yet? Have some tea, please. No, thank you. I just have 2 cups of tea. Suzanne, do her homework before 10 o'clock, but Jane not write a word until now. Her mother buy her a pair of new shoes yesterday. The Prime Minister leave for the USA an hour ago. It not rain for a long time. You see my dog? It ran away this morning. We meet at a party for a long time ago, but I not see her since then. I see an interesting book in a bookshop yesterday, but I not buy it. My friend fall from the bicycle because he not ride one for ages. His father died in 1970, but he never visit his father's grave since that time. They go to America years ago, but none of them come back since then. You speak to an Englishman? Yes, I have a short conversation with one last night. You ever be to Morocco? Yes, I go there 2 years ago. You see Rashida recently? No, I see her for a long time. John not called me recently. They buy a new car last month. The teacher not returned the test yet. How long she know about this problem? You ever hear such an unbelievable story? When I was a child, I lived in England for 2 years. He buy me a beautiful gift for my birthday. I am so excited to have a dog. I always want one. B. Exercise B. Correct the error in each of the sentences. التمارين غنبقى غادي gradually كل مرة تنصعد النيفو بشوي until the end, and we will have them only tenses and text يعني بيكونوا advanced exercises. Correct the error in each of the sentences. Have you ever eat Chinese food؟ كاين هنا واحد الخطأ، انت خاصك ديتكتيه وتكتبوا لنا هنايا. Okay? Have you ever eat Chinese food? Mr. Omar already left the office. She has moved to another city last year. يعني كاين واحد الخطأ. We haven't been abroad since a year. Since a year. They have sent out the invitations yet. The lesson has started 10 minutes ago. Samir hasn't seen Samira since she has graduated. Did she just leave? Exercise C. Put in the correct verb forms. يعني عندي هنايا options. نقرا الجملة ونشوف إنه هو الفعل المناسب في التصريف المناسب ليه اللي تيجي مع الجملة على حسب السيجنال ووردز اللي تيكون عندي هنايا وفهمها ديال السنتنس. My father his video camera yesterday. وعندي forgotten. Nasima across the Atlantic. Has never flown, has never flown, has never fly. 3. A snake? Have you ever touched? Have you ever touched it? 4. We the film at home. We have already saw, have already seen, have already seen. Number 5. She the contest 3 years ago. She didn't win or didn't won the contest 3 years ago. 6. Their books out yet. Their books out yet. They haven't taken, they haven't took. The thieves, the painting in 1999. The thieves, شفارة, steal, stole, stolen. The painting in 1999. Exercise D. التمرين الأخير. Look at the sentences. Choose the correct explanation for each. دابا غنشوفو هاي الجملة مكتوبة عندنا هنايا وبتعرف واش صح ولا خطأ وبتعطي الاكسبلانيشن ديالك. كيتبين هي الاكسبلانيشن اللي بان لك في هادو اللي معطيين هنا راه صحيحة. We had a good time at Jim's party last week. يعني this is واش correct because it has a main verb had for past tense. أولا this is incorrect. With the words last week we need an auxiliary verb اللي هو has and a past participle اللي هو had. Okay? يلا انت بتنطي A ولا B تنشوفو التصحيح. 2. Every summer they take a trip to the mountains for their vacation. This is correct. It has a main verb take in the present tense. This is incorrect. With the expression every summer, we need an auxiliary verb have and a main verb taken. Okay? Again, you note A or B. Tom never saw a zebra. This is correct. It has a main verb saw for past tense. أو لا. This is incorrect. With the word never, never, we need an auxiliary verb اللي هو has and a participle اللي هو seen. Participle of the verb see. See, saw, seen. 4. I haven't spoke to my boss about my pay rise yet. I haven't spoke to my boss about my pay rise yet. This is correct. علاش؟ because with the word yet we need an auxiliary verb اللي هو haven't and a main verb اللي هو spoke. أولا this is incorrect. with the word yet we need an auxiliary verb اللي هو haven't and past participle. However, we need to change spoke to spoken because spoken is the past participle. Okay. Number 5. The waiters clean the tables at the end of the day. This is correct. It has a main verb اللي هو clean. This is incorrect. We need an auxiliary verb اللي هو have and a past participle اللي هو cleaned. Aula, this is incorrect again with the subject waiters, because with the subject waiters the main verb should be cleans. Number 6. She has already wrote her pen pal 18 letters. She has already wrote her pen pal 18 letters. This is correct. With the word already we need an auxiliary verb, has, and a main verb اللي هو wrote. B. This is incorrect. With the subject she and time expression already we need an auxiliary اللي هو has and a main verb writes. This is incorrect because wrote is the past tense. With the auxiliary has we need the past participle اللي هو written. ودابا نشوفو التصحيح على بركة الله again. Okay, use the past simple past or present perfect to fill in the blanks. What have you learned since you have come here? What have you learned? How many friends have you made? I hope you have already met a lot of interesting people. Last night my roommate and I had some free time. Had because last night. So we went to a show. I have just had lunch. I have just had lunch. Present perfect. But I didn't have lunch yesterday because of yesterday then a simple past with do as an auxiliary. Who wrote the play Hamlet? It's a play written by Shakespeare because in the past it was written in the past. Who wrote the play Hamlet? 5. How many games أما ندير هنا has أو لا ندير have because the team is a collective noun. يقدر يجي معاه singular أو لا plural. How many games have أو لا has the team won so far this season? I don't know Sarah's husband. I have never met him. I've never met him. It rained a lot last week. Last week يعني وقت محدد يعني simple past. But it hasn't rained much so far this week. يعني so far إلى حدود الساعة هذا الأسبوع it hasn't rained present perfect. How many letters have you written since the beginning of the month? Have you written منذ بداية الشهر. When we were on vacation, the weather was terrible. In her whole lifetime, Jamila has never seen snow. يعني في حياتها كاملة إلى حدود الساعة she has never seen snow. I don't know where Iman is. Have you seen her? When I got home last night got home when I was very tired and I went straight to bed. Simple past, simple past, simple past. Your car looks very clean. Have you washed it? Have you washed it? Muhammad not be very well last week. خاصة تكون هنا Muhammad was not very well. Verb to be was not last week. Mr. Rami worked in a bank for 15 years. محدد باللي وقت محدد. Worked simple past. The young man has never been to Paris. عمره مشى لباريس. But he read because simple past of read هو read كتبقى في الكتابة بحال هكا ولكن النطق تيختلف تيولي بحال الكالر read. But he read a book about this city last year again in simple past. Have you decided where to go yet? Have some tea please. عندي هنا yet sorry عندي yet عندي have you decided where to go. Have you decided where to go? Present perfect. No thank you. I have just had 2 cups of tea. Suzanne did her homework before 10 o'clock. Suzanne did her homework before 10 o'clock but Jane has not written a word until now. يعني إلى حدود الساعة Jane has not written a word. ما كتبت حتى شي كلمة. Her mother bought her a pair of new shoes yesterday, and yesterday automatically simple past. The Prime Minister left for the USA an hour ago. فين متى يكون عندي an hour ago هاد ago يعني أنا محدد تنستعمل معها simple past. Left. It hasn't rained for a long time. It hasn't rained يعني for a long time مدة طويلة. حتى الآن it hasn't rained. Have you seen my dog? It ran away this morning. يعني this morning هذا الصباح قادت هالشي درت هنا simple past. اوكي كون كان بين قوسين نقول لك still morning بيقول لك it has run away. سبب present perfect. Have you seen my dog? It ran away. مشى العرب this morning simple past. We met at a party a long time ago. We met at a party a long time ago محدد يعني simple past. But I haven't seen her since then. يعني منذ تلك اللحظة I haven't seen her since then. Okay. I saw an interesting book in a bookshop yesterday, but I didn't buy it. يعني yesterday actually this simple past. I didn't buy it. My friend fell from the bicycle because he didn't ride one for ages. Fell سقط من البيك راحت because he didn't ride because it's in the past again ما صارش وحدة لمدة for ages. Okay. His father died in 1970. His father died in 1970. But he has never visited his father's grave since that time. يعني درنا died حتى هنا simple past because عندي الوقت محدد الزمن محدد in 1970. But he has never visited his father's grave since then. يعني عندي منذ ذلك الوقت since that time يعني إلى حدود الآن الشيء استعملت present perfect has never visited. Okay. Number 8. They went to America years ago. أو تاني years ago محدد الوقت simple past went. But none of them has come. تا واحد فيهم none هالشيء علاش درت هنا has وما درتش have. None of them has come back since then. يعني منذ ذلك الوقت حدود الآن تا واحد ما جاء. Have you ever spoken? Have past participle of speak spoken. Have you ever spoken to an Englishman? Yes, I have had a short conversation with one last night. No, sorry. هذه خاص تكون هي had. غلطت أنايا. ماشي have. ماشي present perfect. هذه simple past. حتى عندي هنا last night. إيه ما انتبهتش لها. I had a short conversation with one last night. I had ماشي present perfect simple past عندي last night. Have you ever been to Morocco? شبيت لك سبق لك كنتي في المغرب ولا زرت المغرب؟ Yes, I went there 2 years ago. Again عندي 2 years ago محدد يعني simple past. Have you seen Rashida recently? وشفت رشيدة مؤخرا؟ No, I haven't seen her for a long time. يعني إلى حدود الآن لمدة طويلة ما زال ما شفتهاش. عمر hasn't called me recently. عمر ما اتصلش بي مؤخرا. They bought a new car last month. عندي عاوتاني last month وقت محدد simple past. Buy. The teacher hasn't returned the test yet. فاش يكون عندي yet automatically present perfect and I use hasn't returned. How long has she known about this problem? يعني شحال مدة يعرف على هذا المشكل. Has she known past participle of known. Have you ever heard such an unbelievable story? Have you ever heard عاوتاني present perfect. When I was a child يعني محدد لي الوقت هنايا غنستعمل simple past. I lived in England for 2 years. Again for 2 years مدة 2 سنوات. He bought me a beautiful gift for my birthday. He bought me اشترالي bought me a beautiful gift for my birthday. I am so excited to have a dog. I have always wanted خاصة واحد إيدي ضعيف التركيز بعض المرات ولا الكتابة تنسى. I have always simple past of want هي wanted. I have always wanted one. يعني have past participle هو wanted ed regular verb. Correct the error in each of the sentences. نصحوا الأخطاء اللي كاين في الجمل هنايا. have you ever eat Chinese food يعني have you ever خاص تكون عاوتاني eaten past participle because present perfect. Past participle of eat هو eaten. Have you ever eaten? Mr. Omar already left the office يعني خاصنا نقول Mr. Omar has already left. Already present perfect. She has moved to another city last year يعني باللي عندي last year محدد time يعني خاصها تكون moved. هي simple past ما غاش ندير present perfect has. We haven't been abroad since a year يعني ما سافرنا بالخارج منذ سنة يعني ما خاصهاش تكون منذ خاصها تقول for لمدة سنة for a year. They have sent out the invitations yet يعني yet ليس بعد ما عادش نقول positive و negative at the same time يعني ليس بعد غنقول they haven't sent out the invitations yet. The lesson has started 10 minutes ago. The lesson الدرس بدأ 10 minutes ago يعني 10 minutes ago يعني مدة ago محددة يعني past يعني ليش درت started وما غاش نخلي has started present perfect. Samir hasn't seen Samira since she has graduated. دائما since تبعها past simple. Since she graduated. Did she just leave? And the just automatically I understood بالله راها present perfect يعني غندير has she just left. Okay, put in the correct verb forms يعني my father forgot his video camera yesterday and yesterday يعني simple past forgot. Nasima across the Atlantic has never flown across the Atlantic. A snake have you ever touched باللي عندي have يعني simple past of touch هو touched regular verb. Have you ever touched a snake? We have already seen the film at home. She didn't win يعني auxiliary do in the past يعني غيكون تابعو verb in the infinitive. She didn't win the contest 3 years ago in the past. They haven't taken the books out yet إلى حدود ساعة ليس بعد. They haven't taken the books yet. The thieves stole simple past of steal stole the painting in 1999 محدد لي التاريخ يعني simple past. Look at the sentences and choose the correct explanation for each. دابا نقلب على الشرح تاع كل وحدة علاش دارت. We had a good time at Jim's party last week. This is correct because it has a main verb اللي هو had for past tense يعني last week صحيح. Number 2. Every summer they take a trip to the mountains for their vacation يعني this is also correct because it has a main verb اللي هو take in the present tense. وقلنا راه take يعني راه تستعمل because an action habitual action something repeated. had simple present تستعمل for describing something that happens regularly or daily routine or whatever. Tom never saw a zebra يعني Tom this is incorrect يعني اللي ما عمره شاف زبرة خصني وعندي never هنايا. With the word never we need an auxiliary verb اللي هو has and a past participle اللي هو seen. Has never seen. Number 4. I haven't spoke to my boss about my pay rise yet يعني this is correct ولا incorrect يعني automatically this is incorrect. علاش حيت عندي بلي عندي have ولا haven't ولا has خاص هاد spoke تكون past participle. So this is incorrect. With the word yet we need an auxiliary verb اللي هو haven't and past participle. However we need to change spoke to spoken because spoken is the past participle مادام عندي have أو has أو haven't أو hasn't. 5. The waiters clean the tables at the end of the day. They clean the table at the end of the day. This is correct because it has a main verb اللي هو clean. هذه fact simple present. She has already wrote her pen pal 18 letters. يعني عاوتاني نفس الورب اللي عندي has أو have وعندي already. I have to change the verb into written. Okay? This is incorrect. Wrote is the past tense. With the auxiliary has أو have we need the past participle written. And that's all for today. See you with another lesson. نتمنى تكون استفادة. نتمنى لكم تيسير إن شاء الله. And I will keep increasing the difficulty of exercise. كل مرة غنبدا نطلع النيفو ديال التمارين. see you with another lesson.